Okay, today's bike shorts are 2 pro safety tips from your Uncle Andy. From time to time, you are going to encounter a road that had a shoulder and then the shoulder disappears and you're looking at a very narrow road with no shoulder and no margin for you to ride on. It looks something like this. A minute ago I had a shoulder, now I got nothing. And there's also a blind turn up there. So, what do? Well, common sense says you should take the lane, right? But what does that actually mean? What does it mean to take the lane, and how do you do it safely? In my experience, you have to be really careful when you do that, and you should only do it rarely because it makes cars kind of angry. So as a general rule of thumb, I never ride this close to the edge of the road when there's cars coming behind me. For example, when my Garmin alerts me that they're coming, or when I just hear them. My tendency is to get about a little less than halfway into the lane. Not all the way, but just enough so that the cars, if they're kind enough, will move over. And if they don't, you've got room to move over or bail out. That's your first pro tip for safely taking the lane. Now, before you do that, make sure you turn around and look and, ensure that the car is not barreling down on you at 1,000 miles an hour, texting or not paying attention. I've discovered that inattentive, angry, and rushed drivers are our worst enemy. Now, one thing I've discovered literally in the past couple of years to combat that is eye contact. It's the strangest thing. It's the weirdest phenomenon, but 9 times out of 10, when I do my little taking the lane exercise and I turn my head back and I look, especially if I'm standing up and pedaling, I make myself big, almost like I'm trying to scare off a predator, and I look and I make eye contact with the driver, and even the angriest of drivers tend to swerve and give you extra room. It's a really cool phenomenon. 2 other things that work really well when you're looking back at the motorists: 1, smile, and 2, give them a peace sign, give them a wave, give them a thank you, give them a thumbs up for not killing you. You still have to exercise extreme caution when you're riding with no shoulder on a narrow road. You still have to take the lane a little bit, so be careful. This isn't always gonna work, but I found it has a pretty good success rate, and I'd love to hear your feedback.